Hi guys, my name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a fan art video of Hollow Knight. Now this was requested by Sub-Zero Kit and it was about a month ago, and I figured, yeah, I think that might be lovely to do. So I'd say without any further ado, let's get on to the video. So before I got this request, I was watching a video that this kid done, and he played basically the game, and it shows you what is happening basically inside the actual game, what the gameplay is. So before that, I've never actually seen it, so that was the very first time that I came across that game, and I did immediately like how everything looked. I thought it looked so nice and pretty, and even though it's not 3D, it just had something to it that I really enjoyed. Basically, Hollow Knight is a 2D Metroidvania game, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and it's action adventure, and it takes place in hollownest, which is a fictional ancient kingdom, and you basically control an insect-like, silent and nameless knight. He kind of looks like a ghost to me though. I know they say he's like an insect, but like he kind of looks like a ghost to me. I don't know why, but sure. And you just explore the underground world. That's basically what you're doing in there. So that is a fun little idea, and I got that request, and because the colors and everything spoke to me, I was like, yeah, why not? I would really like to try and see if I can actually draw this and give it some credit and make it look nice. And I did want to give my own touch to it. I didn't want to have it exactly as in the game. I wanted to have it look like my art, like it is fan art, so it should be in my style but still very recognizable as Hollow Knight, the game. So I started out by drawing on my iPad, and I have to say, with the enemy that I was drawing, I was kind of struggling with his body a little bit because it's more rounded, and maybe I should have started with like the massive body first and then put the head on later and the arms on, but sure, that's not what I ended up doing. I don't usually tend to do things the traditional way, so I went with the head first and built from there. So I had a bit of trouble with that, but that's okay. Like, this is something new that I've drawn. I never really draw anything outside of what I usually have been drawing this year, so I like doing something new and extra and different, and this was definitely new, extra and different. And what I also wanted to do was make sure the highlights were on the shoulders and on the enemy as well. So in the game you see that it's got like the highlights in there, it's got like the white shines, and I want to make sure that that came across in my actual drawing too. So I did that, and I actually had a lot of fun sketching it out. It was really nice to put everything together, and as I said, one of my goals was put more details in my artwork, and I think I definitely have done that in this piece as well. It looks more complete, and that is what I like about it, and that is what I'm hoping to achieve with pretty much every single artwork. And of course, when I do sketchbooks and drawing there, it won't be as complete, but these are more final drawings and not really like sketches. So I have nice line art that I want to do first and fill a page and make it look fancy, and who knows, maybe in the future this will be available for those interested. The line art, that is. So that's what I did, and for the colors I kind of wanted to go with the in-game colors as well. Now there are a few different settings. There is more of a green background, more of a bluish background, and more of a purplish background. I haven't seen more yet. I did some investigating before I made the line art of this because I wanted to have a scene in my head, and I wanted to make sure that I really captured the essence of the game itself as well, and I had to make sure that that was done properly. So I browsed on the internet a little while and found screenshots of the game, because I haven't played the game myself. I wouldn't even know where to get it, in all fairness. Like, I'd have to go looking for it because I'm not sure where to even get it. I know you can play it on a PC as well, and I think on the Xbox and PlayStation. Not quite sure about that, but I'm a PC gamer, so if anything, I would have to find it on the PC. And I came across this background which was more purplish, and that's where this enemy was as well. So I want to make sure that the enemy was in as close to its own colors as possible. And I couldn't really find the actual color, so I decided to go with more muted violet slash purple tones. So that's what I went for here. And I started with putting the darkest colors first. And of course I'd like to work from top to bottom. So that is kind of what I did. I started out with the head, and then from the left arm, and then the right arm, and went from there. And it was quite tricky to make sure that I had the shines in the drawing while I was coloring it in. I don't usually do that. I usually have my Posca pen and then I go over it, but I didn't think that would look as nice as actually having to take into account where you want to put in the highlights. So I decided to do that from the get-go, which was a little tricky, and not all of my lines are perfect, so that is definitely something I have to work on, but it was very nice to try. I don't usually do it, and I think you have to make sure that you practice those things as well that you don't usually do. And what I also don't usually do is go with a dark tone first and then go over with the lighter color. I usually work from light to dark, but I thought the opposite direction would work just a little bit better for this one, and I'm actually quite happy that I did that. I think it gave a nicer effect. I didn't have to go over the color as much, and I think it's closer to the colors that I wanted it to be, as in compared to if I had gone over it light, dark, and then having to blend that in. So I think that was a good choice. I do think that all the colors are very close together, so there's not a whole lot of contrast going on in there. Now the head of the Hollow Knight itself, I'm just going to call him the Hollow Knight because it's just easier, is pretty much white, so that I could leave white. I did give some shadow in that, but that is pretty much the only thing that is lighter, and I do have black as well for the body of the Hollow Knight. So those are high contrast colors that I put in, but for the rest it's all kind of a little similar. So I do realize that all the colors might kind of look like they might blend in together a little bit, and that wasn't my intention, but I did want to, or maybe it was, I did want to make sure that everything had a cohesive look and that nothing looked strange or out of place. Now I do have to say, when I colored in the rock, it blends too much with the characters around it. So maybe I should have done some white lines around to make sure that it really stands out, that you can really see it's a rock, because it is a rock. You just can't really see it right now. So I think that is one of my only criticisms at this point, and something I need to work on and change, but I think that would be something for the future. And I quite like the drawing itself, like I quite enjoy it, so it's quite nice. And for the background I went in with 4 different colors, and the reason I did that is because, first of all, I didn't really have colors that would blend in nicely together without using multiple colors, and I thought it was quite tricky. So I think the first 2, the grey and then the muted violet marker that I've used at the top, they kind of blend in together quite nicely. I think they work well together because they both have a greyish tone in there, so that is not an issue. But the violet color that is more on the pink side, that was a bit tricky to blend in with the rest. So sure, lesson learned. I was told on this end that it didn't look so bad, that actually looked pretty decent, so I'm going to hope that it looks pretty decent. But yeah, that is pretty much what I thought. I was like, oh sugar, this is not blending the way I want to, and that is such a shame. And even with the lighter color at the bottom, I do realize that it's like the color that is close to like the enemy and the Hollow Knight as well, but it gives the vibe. Everything gives kind of like the same setting vibe, and I really enjoyed that. I really liked that, so I thought it was really nice. And once that was done, I had to touch everything up. I had to make sure that the colors that went into the white areas were removed, because I didn't take as much care with going over the lines there as I should have. I initially thought I wanted to give the background a bit of a color, like a bluish color or something, but I thought it would be better like this, just plain white for the background swirls, and I think that was the nicest thing to do. So this is it. This is my art piece for the Hollow Knight. I'm really happy with it, and I hope that Sub-Zero Kid is happy with this video as well, with the outcome of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next year. Thank you. Bye.